Okay. Super. All right. Well, good morning. Good morning. I just get more excited each time I come to meeting. I'm seeing a bigger and bigger vision for our team and what we're able to do. And also just because I'm finding more and more people that need exactly what we've got. Like we listened a little bit to Danielle's story today and just already having the transformation that she couldn't get out of bed before and she's already feeling so much better, and our kids are going on it. I can't get enough of these stories. And I just think of how it changed my life along the way and gave me choices too. So I just want to encourage everybody today to have that bigger vision outside of yourself of what if somebody had never shared with you? Would that be okay with you? What if they never shared with you? I don't know anybody that if I went to your house and said, you know what, I decided you can't have Juice Plus anymore, you'd probably punch me in the throat. So think about that when you're getting ready to share with somebody that you have that. And the other thing that I really believe is now with our customer group, Ignite Your Health, we're going to go through, we're going to try to record even a shorter video so you feel really comfortable. And I'm willing to meet with small groups of you about that too. But the tools and how we can share is just so much more organic because we put people in our Ignite Your Health group now. If there's a little tab at the top that says guides, and you just click on the guides and you decide, do you want to share with them videos about the capsules or the complete or whatever it is, family health study, and then you just tag them on it. But the beauty of it is they're going to see other people talking about Juice Plus in the group. They're going to get other people's stories and little tidbits. And if you have yourself not been to Ignite Your Health and clicked on the guides, I challenge you, this is your assignment this week, to go in there, click on the guides, and pick at least one resource or one video under every single guide. And if you've had a personal experience from using that product, put something that happened to you personally. And if you didn't have any personal experience with it, maybe put why you chose to give Juice Plus a try. What are you hoping for it to do for you? Because you don't know who's going to be reading that. It could be your person that you tag in there eventually, or it could be somebody else. But we're all about empowering one another and just getting the big picture out. So that's your assignment this week. There will be more guides coming, but go check out what's in there already and make at least one comment on at least one of the resources under each guide. I think there are 4 or 5 guides, so it won't take you very long. Just whatever from your heart. I'm not asking you to make up anything. This is something that happened to you or your child or your loved one. Or how does it feel if you are a mom, to have your child? Maybe you're doing something under the family health study. How does that make you feel, to have your kids on there? I just think it's going to add so much value. So please do that. That's your assignment. Jot that down. And then I'm also just excited. The more I'm learning about, I feel like there's just this battlefield in our minds. It's all part of our personal growth of, it's so much easier to go to the negative on things. And if we can change our minds so that we're just a light for other people, and we're able to share that, you want to be a magnet for other people. And so I'm excited about the personal growth that's happening in our team and what's to come and what kinds of things we're going to be reading and doing in the near future if you choose to participate, because it all makes a difference. And it doesn't just make a difference for your business. It makes a difference how you are in your relationships, how you are, how you view everything. Really, I mean, it's when you change your mind, it changes how you are perceived by other people and how you do everything. So when I look at that whole picture of what we can do, we can't change the whole world. I know there's a lot of horrible stuff happening right now in the world, and we can get bogged down with that. We can't do that, but we can change at least our own area. We can talk to our own family. We can talk to people in our community. We can make a difference one person at a time. So that's what I'm excited about, is that I want to feel empowered. I want to feel like every day I'm waking up, I'm doing something that really makes a difference, even if it's just to that one person. And then that person might change and make a difference to another person. One thing coming up that is always a game changer is the conference. And we can educate ourselves to death at home by ourselves, but it makes such a difference to come together and be in a whole group for conference. So if you're sitting here going, I'm not sure about that. Yes, they are having a big conference in St. Louis, and our team had opted to rent this house just north of Kansas City. It has 23 individual beds, so you don't have to sleep with anybody. It has a gazillion bathrooms, and it has a lot of different space inside and outside of the house. So everybody can have group time, small group time, alone time. Everybody has a different personality, so whatever works for you. But we will be live streaming the conference right into that home. And nothing is better than watching it without any distractions, nothing popping up. We're not checking our phones. We're just engaged. We're focused as a community. And then there'll be times in between, because we're all living in this house together, that we can take different topics and we can take action on them. We can process them. I just know from teaching school, you don't learn from just one way. You got to take it, and everybody learns differently. Some people need to process it and talk about it. Some people are going to have to write it down or graph it out. Some people are going to, you only get so much from hearing it. Is what I'm trying to say. So I'm super excited. If there's any possible way at all for you to come to the conference, I recommend that. And I used to kind of cringe. The lady that signed me up, Cheryl Boudreau, she felt so strongly about this. She said, I don't care if you don't even have any money. I would go take out a loan. If you really want to change your life, the conference is where you change your life. And that's where the biggest light bulbs go on. And I know for me, that was me too. I really just planned on getting into this, having a little side gig for a little bit of time, making enough money that I didn't feel, so tight, maybe $500 a month. And what made the difference for me was sitting there in the conference and listening to those new national marketing directors cross the stage and sharing their stories. And all of a sudden I'm sitting there, and I was sitting next to this gal named Kathy Osborne, and we looked at each other and we're just like, oh my gosh, if these people can do it, we can do it. I mean, there's nothing. And that was such a big aha moment for me. And that's what I know to be true for every single person here, that we have such a simple system right now. I mean, if you just follow the directions of what we can teach you and use the tools that are there, and you're consistent, that's the hardest thing. You gotta be consistent. I was so extremely consistent. Most of you know my story. I always got 5 new customers a month, 5 separate people, 5 new customers every single month when I signed up. And I did that for 2 years straight. Sometimes I did great big events and I would be listed as a top. I would have 30 customers in a month. I shared with everybody. I worked hard. I was out of balance for a while. But once I caught that vision at the conference, I knew I wanted that. I knew I wanted to be national marketing director. And it's so fascinating for me to reverse engineer my life now. I don't know why I wanted that so much. I was a school teacher. I'd always planned to go back and teach school. But to me, that was divine intervention. To even have this stranger come into my life and share Juice Plus with me, I told her no, a no, a no, a no. And she was so passionate. I finally said, okay, I'll take a look at the information. And then it just clicked. Oh my gosh, I think this might be for real. I want to tell other people, but I still had a little tiny vision. I didn't get the big vision until I went to the conference and I was with people who also wanted to grow. And I heard those stories and things. So I'm not here to tell you have to be a national marketing director, but thank God I followed those doors as they opened and as I was told, and I did the work, because most of you know, my husband died last year. If I was a teacher, I would have a completely different life. I would have lost my house. I would not be able to stay in this house. I would not have been with Ron for all of his appointments. My life would have been completely different. Ron's life, I'm sure, would have been much shorter and completely different also. So what we're doing here is important work. And whether you decide to do a little or a lot, just know you are valued. It is important. All these little bits and pieces add up to a major impact. We impact like 2,000 people a month as a team. Okay, so if you're sitting here and you feel like, oh, I'm only doing this much, guess what? There's a whole bunch of people doing just this much. And if all those people weren't there, we wouldn't have nearly the impact. It would be so small. So what we're doing is important, whether you decide to do a little or a lot, you decide what that is. But I really recommend get yourself to that conference. Come be with us. It's a life changer. And tell your, if you have any other people on your team, invite them. If you can't come, personally invite them still and tell them, go take notes. You want to have firsthand experience. Okay, then you're going to get more people coming back and sharing ideas with you. Okay, I could talk on this forever. Jake, do you want to share? And did you have any pivotal moments at a conference, or who else has been to a lot? Lori's been to a lot of conferences. Bobby or Sheila, Vicky. I mean, if anybody has like something that you felt was pivotal because you went to a conference, let me know.
I have a lot of pivotal moments over the last 12 years. And when you asked me to share, immediately I thought of the NMD speeches. Those are so incredibly impactful. And I thought the same thing, you know, if these people can do it, I can do it. If these people, you know, I saw people who were completely introverted, who wouldn't speak to anybody. And now they're standing on the stage in front of 7,000, 8,000 people telling their stories. And that was just really incredible. Another pivotal moment for me was, there was one time that, well, when Susie says that Cheryl Boudreau encouraged her to take out a loan, that's exactly what I did. I used to be a professional picture framer. I had my own personal brick and mortar business for 10 years. When I started that business, I went out and I took out a very, very large loan to start that business. And once I caught vision for this, that I could actually do this, I thought, oh my gosh, I need to really treat this like a business instead of just, oh, I'm just going to help a few people and, you know, whatever, because that's how I started out. And so I did go out and get a loan for enough to go to the conference, pay for everything that I needed for the conference. And I thought, I'm just going to treat this like a business. And it was a much, much smaller loan than I did with my brick and mortar. And I'm not saying that you have to do that. I'm just saying that's what I did, because I caught the vision and I wanted to build a business with this. And there was one time after that money was still really tight. And I ended up getting to stay in a room with Susie. And that was a pivotal moment too, because how many times do you get, I mean, we are so very fortunate. We get Susie one-on-one. Most people do not get their national marketing director one-on-one. I think we take that for granted because we get her all the time. But she and I stayed with her in her room. And that was the most incredible thing, because I didn't really have as much of a relationship with her before that. But because I got to spend all that one-on-one time, she and I became really good friends, and we're good friends to this day, which I'm so grateful for. Sorry, I've had a very emotional weekend, so I'm like wearing all of my emotions right here. And I'll watch my Facebook post this week because I've got some really interesting things to share. So what else was I going to say? There was one other thing that I wanted to share. I'm so glad that you mentioned the reverse engineer. I hadn't thought about that, but I look at, okay, when I first started sharing Juice Plus, I was only doing it just a little bit because I wanted to help people, right? We all do this because we want to help people, but I really needed a job. I needed a job, like desperately needed a job. And I only wanted to be able to, I only needed part-time. and I could not find anything that would fit work with my family schedule. So I prayed about it, and I had not been thinking about Juice Plus as a job, not at all. I mean, it was not even in my mind. And the first thing that popped in my head was Juice Plus. And then I was like, whatever, that can't possibly be it. We've done network marketing before, we've done direct sales, none of it works. It's, it's not gonna, this was before I went to a conference. And then like 2 weeks later, I still couldn't find a job, and I prayed about it again. Juice Plus was the first thing that popped into my head. And so I thought, okay, I need to really take a serious look at this. And I went to an event. I drove 2.5 hours in Nebraska to go to an event to watch Dr. Frank Eggleston speak. He's a dentist. And my mind was blown. I learned things there that I'd never heard before. I'd never heard these things before. And it was amazing. And I started catching the vision. And it was at that event that my sponsor gave me way back in the day, they used to record the conferences on CD. So I drove back home listening to these conferences, and it was really there that I heard the NMD speeches for the first time. And I was so moved. I got home and I told Mary Ellen that I wanted to be an NMD. And then that's when I started going to conferences. And I look at my life now, and if I were to reverse engineer it, I'm blown away, because I don't know if everybody knows my story, but back in 2014, my life took a drastic change. I was I was getting very, very fit. I was very, very healthy. And I went through a health crisis that pretty much brought my life to a standstill. And I was unable to work for anybody except for Juice Plus in stolen moments. I was working 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there, because I lacked the ability, the physical capability, or the mental capability of working a regular job. I would have lost my house. And during that time, Juice Plus continued to pay me because I had built this incredible business. I had lots of really great customers. I had a really nice, really good sized team. We were impacting a lot of lives. And in that time, I was able to buy a Suburban when I could not work, because the paycheck from Juice Plus continued to come in. And I would have never expected that. I never, ever anticipated anything like that happening to me. So we would have probably lost our house at that point, because Darren, our expenses were just much too great for Darren to be able to handle those on his own. And anyway, I'm just really, really grateful for this business. And had it not been for me I went to every conference. I've never missed one. Even through the times that I was physically unable to take myself, other friends went with me so that I could go. And I would go to the conference, then I'd go back to my hotel room and I would sleep, because I just physically couldn't. I didn't have the stamina to do much more than that. But those conferences kept me going, and it kept me connected in a way that just hearing about it secondhand just doesn't quite cut it. And I've gone to a lot of events online, and it is nowhere near what it's like when you get together and you stay in a room with other Juice Plus people. It's there that you build those lifelong relationships. I have so many amazing friendships now because of this business with people that I didn't even know before, and not even just on our own team. I mean, I have friends all around the world because of going to these events. So I encourage you as well. This could be, going to a conference could be completely life-changing for you. I think that it has, well, I know it has been for me. So it's probably more than what you wanted, Susie, but there you have it.
We gotcha. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you said you had a time in your life where you built your business in 15-minute segments, because I want to talk about that. And that is going to be our challenge starting next Monday. So not quite September. What is that? August 30th? Yeah, it'll be August 30th, next Monday or Sunday, however you want to do that. But I'm super excited about this, because this is what we're going to teach people, that you can build a business 15 minutes at a time. You don't need to worry about having an hour of blocking out this hour and blocking out that hour. You just need to find 15 minutes here and 15 minutes there and focus on it's going to be your focus that makes the difference of what you do during that 15 minutes. So at the end here, we'll pull up forms, but I want to just talk to you a little bit more about that, because what we did is we created a form that's going to be so simple for you to look at, because it has the goal, if you really want to move forward, would be to fill all the boxes by the end of the week. And that means you'd work 10 hours on your Juice Plus business during the week. But you be you set as much time as you want and decide. Each box represents 15 minutes. And so each time you fill those boxes, and then we've listed activities on the other side. So if you have your memory jogger and you have a list of a bunch of names down of people that you want to connect with, or you can go through your Facebook, you can go through your text messages, whatever you like to do. All you need are those names. We have the new verbiage sheet with over 30 different ways to connect with people. So you could just use those. You don't even have to you can tweak them, you do whatever. So it's you want it to be you coming out of there. But we're making this so simple. And then it's really fun, because as you fill in those boxes, you can see, hey, because honestly, probably nobody on this call did 10 hours of income producing activity specifically for your Juice Plus business last week. I challenge you on that. And just to do 10 hours, week after week after week, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. Like I did a salad in a jar party on Saturday. So that took us an hour. Then I would have taken 4 of those blocks and just written salad in a jar party for those. You see what I mean? So if you do something and you work for a whole hour on it, then you would use up those 4 blocks. But it's only income producing activity. This is not for your personal development. So if you decide, oh, I'm going to go back and listen to some of those national marketing director speeches they talked about. Oh, I'm going to read this book over here. No, that's your personal development. And I learned from this class that personal development is not productivity. Personal development is done outside of this time, because he says people hide in their learning and they don't talk to people. So your personal development just is for you if you don't use it. And the idea is that we are here to engage with people, follow up with people, in fact, I received a message today. I put a message out last week to a person to find out what it would cost to turn my fireplace into stone. And they contacted me. And then it was busy during the weekend. I didn't respond back. And, how often do we do this with people, that we send a message out and we're waiting for them to come back? No, it's our job. So this morning I received another message from them. Good morning, Susie. I wanted to follow up with you to see if you received my response to your message. Please feel free to reach out with any additional questions you may have, as we are here to assist and always glad to help. We look forward to hearing back from you soon and hope you're having a great Monday. Thank you. So simple, right? That's what we can do. We make up in our mind like, oh, are they going to think I'm doing this? Did I open this morning and go, they're trying to sell me something? No, they want to help me with a fireplace. Just like us. We want to help people get healthier. So we need to get over ourselves on that and just know. So there's usually 2 different personalities. When you look at this form and you have all these boxes, we're going to have more the part A, type A kind of personality. You're probably going to want to pull out your planner and schedule your 15-minute time blocks. And I know that works best for some people. I have other people, they're maybe not quite as organized, or they just their life comes and goes. You know, we have several moms on our team. You don't know what's going on with the kids. You can't always schedule that. Or you want to treat it like a game. And that means you have those 40 slots, and you might say, I'm going to see how quickly I can fill my 40 slots. That's my personality. You might go, oh, what a nerd. But, you know, sometimes I just think, well, could I get that done in 3 days of really focused activity? Maybe you want to do it with a partner and just kind of check how you doing on your slots. And the perfect thing is everything you need to do is right next to the slots. If you want to do more, do more. But I think 10 hours, if you do that, I guarantee you're going to see results. Does it mean you're going to become national marketing director in 6 months? No, but when you're consistent day in and day out, that's what makes the difference. When you do a bunch of work and then you don't really follow up with those people and you don't connect again, it's like you're starting over every week and you're feeling like, oh, I'm always working my Juice Plus business. I'm thinking about it. I talk about it. I listen to all my Voxers. I'm reading the book. I went to the team meeting and my business just isn't growing. That's not work. Work is what's on those things. Work is actually connecting with people, caring for other people, sharing with them. Okay. Does that make sense? The difference? So if you find that, hey, I did several activities that I put in my slots that aren't on here, let us know, because we want to add those activities. I think it helps people's juices getting going. But please don't have your feelings hurt if you tell me all these activities and I'll say congratulations, but those are not income producing activities. Because I really want you to learn the difference. I don't want you all this mental on your mind going all the time. We want to erase that, let you breathe, take a 15-minute slot. You don't have to sit down and think, oh, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? You have a verbiage sheet. Use it. You have a list of what to do. Use it. What you need to do is have a list of people. Always be putting new people in, and always be putting new people into Ignite Your Health. I think that group is vibrant. And if you haven't been in there, we have a lot of people that are sharing great information. So do that. This one strategy that I'm teaching you, that you can work your business in 15 minutes. Most people in network marketing do almost no income producing activity because they're just busy thinking about it and talking about it and doing personal development. But if you do this and you teach your team to do this, it is impossible for you not to move forward. It is impossible for you not to move forward. So it's brilliant, yet it's simple. It just takes a decision, right? You have to decide for yourself. And I'm telling you, because I'm deciding this for myself, I can't tell you all of this and then not do it myself. I must do it. Right? Are you going to say she's full of crap? I don't see her doing that. I need to be accountable because I get spun up in that. I can be in management mode. I work hard every day, but income producing activities, some days I don't do very many of those, honestly. But I'm a spinning. I'm a talking to people. But I'm not talking to anybody new who needs Juice Plus. I'm just talking to all of you again and again. So there's a difference here. And I see it. And once I went through this class, I was like, oh my goodness, that is me. So we must do it. And then we must teach others to do it. And then we teach them to teach others to do it. That's what causes leverage in your business. So like Jake's saying, when she has a health crisis, she still had a paycheck because she'd leveraged and other people were still adding people. She was still taking care of her customers. She was, doing things like that. The other thing you can do, you might say, it's like a reverse list. If you can either say, I get satisfaction from seeing all those boxes completed. Some people that doesn't work for them. So I want to throw out one more idea. If you are a list maker, you might make a list the night before of what you want to accomplish the next day. And that way you can be crossing that off. You can still cross off your boxes as you get it done, but I just know people work different way. I'm a list maker. I like that to say, okay, tomorrow I'm focusing on my customer care and I'm doing these people and this and this and this. The more you can organize it, however your brain works, the more you're going to be able to sit down and just bang out that 15 minutes. Okay, we don't want you to spend 15 minutes thinking about what you're going to do. That doesn't count. What counts is the connecting. So by doing this, we're trying to have a better balance of productive days and lost days. Productive means you feel good at the end of the day. You made progress. You move forward. And it's going to feel so good to draw a line through that green box. You're going to have some days you might have one line through the green box. You might have other days that you have lots of green boxes checked off. So, a lost day might be a day where you start the day with good intentions, but you end up doing nothing because you're constantly distracted. You're distracted by the news. You're distracted by your kids. You're distracted by your dogs. You're distracted by your housework. You're distracted by whatever it is. It happens to all of us. So if you really had to think of a number, like what's your ratio of how many lost versus productive days did you have in the last 365? That's kind of a cool thing to think about. How many days was I really productive? Do you know some of the most high earners in network marketing? Guess how many lost days they have? Give me a guess. These are your very top producers. Do you know it can be as high as 50%. 6 months lost, but they're still way ahead because they're so focused on what they're doing, in the meanwhile. So this is just to minimize our lost days because, nobody knows if we're working or not. Those of you who have a job where you have to go and show up, people would notice if you didn't show up, right? But with Juice Plus, we're not going to notice if you do your income producing activities or not. Only you notice that. So this is just a way. I don't want you to lose your days because we can have the best intentions and the biggest hearts and have the biggest desires to make an impact and have a bigger paycheck and have more freedom. And then we just get caught up with distractions. It's like, okay, I'm going to do it the next day. So I really encourage you, print this sheet off, put it somewhere where you're going to see it, carry it around with you, put it in your purse if you get in your car. I really, really recommend this. This is the way we're going to make a big impact. There are always going to be lost days. It's just our job to try to reduce those days. Okay. Doesn't mean we try to kill ourselves if we don't do everything that's on our list, but I want you to feel good at the end of each day that, you know what, that was a productive day. I got some boxes clicked off. If it's one box, that was a productive day. Okay. You decide how many of those boxes you want. And then progress is perfection in this. So you make a plan, you do it, and you review it. So maybe before you go to bed each night, you're even thinking, okay, I planned to do this. I planned to click off 7 boxes today. I clicked off 3. What happened? Why didn't I get my 7 boxes down? But I feel good about the 3. You can go to bed with that feeling good in your heart. And then, let me see, I wrote some notes here. I just said, make some progress. Make some progress to turn a lost day into a productive day. So some days are going to just be really crazy, over the top productive days, and that's going to be exciting. But in between, you might have some days that you get at night. Okay, I'll raise my hand for this one. It gets after 8 o'clock at night for me. It is really hard for me to be productive. it's like my brain just says, nope, nope, you don't need to be doing that. But this encourages me that if I didn't meet my personal goal for how many green boxes I want to check off, I want to stop right then, at least at 8 o'clock. I'm going to make at least one more box get checked off. Because for me, if I'm really looking and saying, I want to be productive, I want to go to bed feeling like, okay, maybe I didn't get all my boxes checked off, but by golly, I just did one right before I went to bed. It was so simple. It was 15 minutes. Put your timer on. You'll see how fast that goes. And then some days, ladies, make lost days intentional. Okay. And what I mean by that is lost to your business, but invested in your family, invested in your spouse, invested in your children, invested in your personal care. So plan those days. Like I do that a lot on Fridays. I plan, I'm going to get my massage. I'm just going to go out to lunch with a friend. I'm going for a walk with this friend. I plan it off and I just take my grandgirls out. Do something intentional. So be intentional when you're going to say, I'm not going to work my business at all this day. Then what do you want to do? That might be, I worked all day and this is the day I like to come home and watch my show. Okay. But that way you're not in your head. I don't want people to ever have that guilty feeling like, oh, I should be doing this. Don't should on yourselves. I'm trying to give you ways you can work in your mind so that you can feel really good and productive and that you really are truly being productive 15 minutes at a time. So you decide. I really like either at the beginning of my day or on a Sunday, clicking off exactly what I want to do. If you're more like, nope, I just want to pick up that sheet and I'm just going to go for it, then that's awesome too. If Jake, do you want to just pull up and show both of these forms are listed on Team Ignite on the Facebook group. So you can find them in here. Those are the famous green boxes with all the activities. And thank you so much to Jake for making these forms so that they're so easy to read. You can see exactly what the intention is here. Reaching out to new people, following up with people, customer care, team care, and social media. So it's not that those green boxes represent that you're like, if you look at social media, it looks like there's 4 boxes by that. The green boxes only signify time. We're not telling you that you spending that much time in each area, if that makes sense. The list is just there to give you ideas, and the green boxes are there to let you know how many minutes or hours did I really work this week. Does that make sense? And then the form, if you want to show the form of the verbiage, here's your VIP verbiage, which could be your very important person or your very important prospect verbiage for them. And we've got general outreach questions. We have ones that are specific if you see people being sick or they have family or things like that. So scroll through all of these, and if you feel really good about some verbiage you're using with people, pass it along to us, and we're happy to add it to the form so that we can just add it to your arsenal. And it's a great way to share. It can't be anything too specific, but something that we could put under a category. We would be happy to do that. So, okay, I'm just going to open up the floor. But isn't that exciting? I think both these resources are so great. So the challenge for September is going to be to fill out one of these. Why do I always forget the name? I can do 15 minutes. We'll fill out one of those per week. No matter how many green boxes, just fill it out. I'll have to think of how the system, maybe I'll just have you send me a picture of it or post it or something somewhere so I know that you worked that week, and then you'll be put in the drawing, and we're going to have 3 $75 drawings. And so we can go back to screen now. Maybe, do we want to wait till the end of the month or should we do a drawing like for 3 of them, $175 drawing, like for 3 consecutive meetings, or is it more fun? Well, no, I guess we should do it all at once, because the more forms you have in there, the more chances you have of winning. So Lori, you're voting once a week. That's more motivating. Okay. And I have 2 laptops open here. I'm trying to move one screen with the other laptop. Let me see, what else did I miss? What is the name for the boxes on Ignite Your Health? What is, you mean, how do you search for it in Ignite Your Health?
I think what she's asked, are you talking about the green
Yeah,
boxes? Okay.
She wants to know how does she find that on Ignite Your Health?
It's not on Ignite Your Health, it's in Team Ignite. Ignite Your Health is our customer page, or well, our,
Oh yeah, I think she meant that. Yeah,
okay.
it's in Team Ignite, but how does she find it in Team Ignite?
It's in the files. Let me
Mhm.
find that really quick and I'll show you how to get to it. Go ahead and keep answering questions, Susie, and I'm going to get to that.
And Lori, you're saying, let's get the energy going quickly. Let's have a drawing right away. Why don't we have one right away the first week, and then maybe we could do the other 2. We'll see how it goes. I like that though. Let's just do it. Let's get the energy going. Let's get people getting some money out there.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Okay. And just one last reminder, we're sitting here with a week until this business month closes. This is the last month we can sign people up for free for the Blitz. So it's a great time to, get with people about that.
The easiest way to do this would be to go to Team Ignite, go over here to More, and click on Files. And
there it is.
No, that's the VIP verbiage.
Yep.
Right there. Now you're talking about the green boxes. Okay, so that's where you find that. And then the other one, I would just go up here.
You know what? Let's since we're going to be talking about this for all of, did you post that or me? Can you just put that in announcements, and we'll tell people to go to their announcements so they don't have to be searching for.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Yep.
Okay, Sheila, do you know how to do that? Right at the top of those tabs is announcements. Click on that, and we're going to put both of those on in the announcements, and that way that'll be an easy way for you guys to teach your teammates. The other thing is exciting to me, when you bring a new person in, what's the thing that's most uncomfortable? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Here you go. Here's what to say. Here are activities you can do. I mean, you might want to highlight. I wouldn't give them that, if that whole list, I'd be like, well, I don't even know what that means. But again, we're simplifying this. We're in such an exciting time to be in our business, because everything is more simple. And then we put them in that Ignite Your Health, and they get all that goodness from everybody around that way. So I'm super excited about that. Let me just open the floor. Any questions, or are you excited about this? Do you have reservations? Let's talk it through so that we can find some solutions.
I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm excited for the fact that you gals have made this extremely easy to access the verbiage, and and for some people, they love checking out those boxes. And so, and for others, you've given suggestions. Some people are really, really organized, have to list things out. Some of us just fly by the seat of our pants just because our schedules change all the time. And so it's just so easy for everybody to just find 15-minute blocks of time.
I sure hope so. I guess we're going to find out, right? And so tell people about this. And what would really help is if all of you who are on here, go make a comment. Remember, you're just going to go under announcements, make a comment if you are excited about doing this for the September challenge, so that other people see it. Tag your people. If maybe you don't have a team, but maybe you have a couple buddies that you like to talk to, and that are on our team, tag them on it and say, hey, I missed you at the team meeting. can't wait to do this with you in September. Let's get this ball rolling. Lori, are you trying to talk?
I think this is awesome, and I'm really excited to do it. And thank you guys for putting it together. I think it makes a lot of sense. And for me, in my head, I can really wrap my head around 15 minutes. And I think it was really great what you shared. Like, okay, at 8 o'clock at night, you're done, but I can do one more, and this feels like that's just kind of a kick in the pants I need. I love the income producing activities, and it makes me think, oh, maybe I need like life producing results. I don't know, maybe that's not what it is, but exactly everything you're saying about business, meaning income producing, you can get lost in this and that and this. I'm doing that in my house these days. I feel like I'm so busy all day, and then I look around and how could I do a little bit better?
Yeah.
So yeah, and here, for those of you that didn't get to see the beginning of the call, I'm canning. So here I got my first little batch.
Yay! I love that.
Thanks to you and Jake for putting this all together. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thanks for the feedback. And I think of that too. I started thinking, I'm spinning my wheels and I feel like I'm almost out of breath at the end of the day, but I don't always go to bed feeling like I really did something. And I love this because in this class of also learning, intentionally plan my non-business time. So if I had a job, a lot of you have jobs to go to, so you plan that out, right? You're going to your job, but it made me more aware too of, okay, I don't want to, because my grandchildren live with me, it's kind of like, okay, well, they just kind of go in all day. But do you know how much more special it is when I plan a date and we go out? And that feels like something instead of just the same old thing. And, for anything like Lori's canning, and I've got all sorts of things that I want to clean out closets and everything. Well, now I feel like I can be intentional with that too and not be feeling, oh, I should be doing this or I should be doing that. No. If I plan this time to clean out my closet, it's time to clean out the closet, or it's time for me to go to exercise class, or it's time for me to, have my family dinner, or, whatever. I just feel like we can go to bed with so much more satisfaction.
Since I've been working on this, I've known about this. So y'all might not be really thinking in these terms yet, but last night, as we were driving home from Wyoming, I was planning out my week, what I needed to do this week. And so I started setting 15-minute goals, reminders in my phone of things that I wanted to do every day, things that I'm behind on, things that I've and I get feeling so overwhelmed because I know I'm behind on that and I know I need to work on it. But if I just take that 15 minutes at a time, I think I'm going to make these sheets for other things in my life that I want to be able to. We've got a room where I used to, when I first started my framing business, I did it right here next to me, and it's a disaster. It's just like storage. And I walk in there and I get so overwhelmed that I just turn around and walk back out. But if I were just to plan 15 minutes of time to go in there and work on it, well, I can do that, right? I can just take 15 minutes. I mean, how simple is this? It's like,
I know. I mean, really, you can clean a bathroom in 15 minutes instead of feeling like, oh, I have all these chores to do all day. It's the same with our business. Oh, I have all these people to follow up. It doesn't, it's just, this is what I'm talking about. Changing our mindset is going to be exciting. So,
and I think about this, one more thing. Think about this when you bring a new person in. What do they often say? I'm too busy. Well, do you have 15 minutes? Everybody can find 15 minutes. And even if they can only find one 15-minute period every day. I remember hearing an NMD speech, and I don't remember who it was because I didn't know people back then when I heard it. She owned a hair salon, and she literally only had one 15-minute period a day, a schedule that she actually scheduled in for herself for these very same income producing activities. And she started doing that consistently over time to where she then didn't have to schedule herself for so much standing on her feet, backbreaking work, working on people's hair, that then she was able to schedule more 15-minute time blocks with herself. And she built herself up to a national marketing director. That was her goal. Not saying again, like you all need to do that, but I thought, wow, this just makes so much sense. So thank you, Susie, for bringing this to us.
Absolutely. I'm excited. So, all right, girlies, remember, I need your help. Please make comments in Team Ignite and those announcements for these programs I just said, and in Ignite Your Health under the guides. We want to make those as just as rich as possible with, because you all have different things that have happened to you since taking Juice Plus. Your family members have had different reactions. People like to know that. And let's go out and share. We got a week. Let's see if we can each sign up one more person to join our team. They might even come to conference with us. How awesome would that be? So, all right. I truly love and appreciate each of you. Go and make it an awesome week. Oh, and let me tell you one more thing. There's a really cool thing that's going to happen on Thursday. If you're looking to invite people that you think would be good that for the business, that I'll send you the recording, but Shelly Mackey, Leanne Harris, and Stacy Turner are doing on Thursday night. They're going to do just a little bit of product in the beginning. And then they're all going to end up sharing their stories. So if you probably haven't heard their stories, but they're because one's a medical worker, one was a teacher, and one's a mom. And they put this together because they're so concerned for teachers and medical workers that are being forced to do a vaccine, and some of them don't feel comfortable with that. And they just want them to say, hey, there is another choice. Like if you want to come, this is what happened to us, and now this is what we're doing. Anyway, I'll send the message out, but that's where their hearts are, and that's why they put this event together. And they're all extremely, very high level NMDs, and I have no doubt that it's going to be an amazing presentation. So that's this Thursday night, and I'll get that posted right away too. Okay. So, okay, I really want you to go. Go, go, go.